Hey, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Impromptu video. Man, my buddy came here. He's actually a Floridian. He's been here for, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Man, he's telling me, I hate the Philippines. I hate it. I go, why? Why do you hate it so bad? What? You just got here. You've been here what? He's in Cebu now. He arrived in Davao. He's going to Cebu. He went to pick his girlfriend up. And then he is going to Cebu and then travel around and do all kinds of stuff. But he says, I hate it. Well, let me tell you a story. He hated it, but then he sort of kind of liked it. And then he sort of kind of liked it a little more. What he hated was everything. You know, the traffic, getting around, the smog, the smells, the odors. He hated getting in the tricycle he couldn't fit in. He hated just about everything had to do with it. But then, after he's here, a day or two, three, he started realizing, hey, the culture is kind of nice. And hey, they are really nice here. His attitude started changing a bit. Hey, it's really not so bad, but I miss this and I miss that. Well, he was going to stay like 3 months, something like that. He's retired. Excuse all the noise. I'm in the middle of the province. That's just the way it is. I have to deal with this every day. It gets louder than this sometimes. Wait till the dogs get to barking, and in the middle of the night, it's horrible. 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Thank goodness I'm in this house. I can't hear anything. But anyway, he said that it was sort of a little bit bearable. He just hated he couldn't get to some of the Western fruits he's used to getting. He wasn't able to get to things that he was really kind of used to getting as far as the foods and things like that. He thought it was just like coming from America here. And I said, no. You're going to one country to another. I mean, no country's like America. I mean, even Russia's not like America. I mean, we've been islands together. He's a pilot. He had an airplane, and he would say, okay, let's go to Bahamas. And he said, let's go. You don't have to worry about fuel. I'll do that. You take care of the room. So, and that's what we do. We take off and go to the Bahamas, and I take care of the room and board, and he'd fly us down and fly us back. Take care of all the fuel and everything. It didn't cost me anything. But he's just that kind of guy. He was a Top Gun pilot for years. But his attitude was, and he's been around the world, but he said I'd forgotten it. I'd got so accustomed to my environment that he just forgotten it. But really what an eye-opener would be is, and he's starting to open up his eyes a little bit more. I talked with him this morning, and I said, well, how do you feel today? He says, I feel about the same as I was yesterday. Honestly, Tom, he said, we had to wait 5 hours for a ship. And it was supposed to be there 5 hours ago, and I really got upset about it. Then I realized that, okay, just go with the flow, and it became better and easier. But then, it's pushing midnight, 1 in the morning. And then we finally got on the ship, and it was rough waters because storms. And he said, one thing led to another. So he started getting in that complaining mode. And I said, well, that's just the way life is. You can go back to the States whenever time you get ready. Just he's planning on marrying the lady here first, and which take 3-4 weeks, and then he'll head back to the States and then do whatever. I'm sure he'll bring her there. He's not worried about the money. Quite a few guys, because he's probably making $5,000 a month on his retirement, not counting all the other stuff he's getting. But and that's the thing, you kind of have to just deal with it. But what was funny was, and it's not funny to me, but what's funny is how he was when he first got here. Boy, he hated it. And now he's kind of dealing with it, and he says this is a lot better. He said people are nice. But people are nice only carries you so far. You got to get around in the country. You still have to buy food. You still have to function. You got to have quality of life. You got to have roof and bed and shelter and, things like that. Health. He had a problem with the stomach, and he went to the clinic, and they're in Cebu, and of course they had to wait, and he got upset about that. I mean, heard him talk about that for 30 minutes about going there, and do you have to deal? Is that the way it is over here? I said, yeah, it's just the way it is. It's life. It's just when you're living here, as long as I have, and as long as a lot of the other vloggers have. I mean, I'm this much compared. My buddy Alton lived here 29 years, so he's told me ins and outs and what to do and what to do, not to do. Told me where to go and where not to go too, if you know what I mean. What corners to go on, what areas to go on here in the Philippines. Like if you're going up the sides, don't go over here. If you're going over here, go Luzon, don't go here. But you have to be able to bend like the willow tree and go a certain way. But he said that the doctor told him, he says, well, I'm going to give you some medication. You have what they call, you're just not used to foods here. Don't drink the water. Don't drink anything. Don't drink bottled water. But only drink these brands. Because bottled water are done from the springs here, okay? And not all bottled water is safe. Just because it says bottled spring water, they just take the bottle, stick it in the water, and doesn't mean it's safe. So there's no testing and things of that nature. There is, but So he said the best thing that so anyway, doctor gave him medication. He started feeling a little bit better. It got worse. He said it cost him like a couple thousand pesos to get through the doctor. And he said it was a nightmare. But so he could tell. He understood. He says, now I understand. Now I really understand what you're talking about. He says, I thought you're him-haw around. He said, I didn't know the truth about how you get to the doctor. And he says, even in Cebu, he says, we went to the main hospital, and the first question he was asked, what insurance do you have? Well, I'm self-insured, because I always tell him that. And he says, okay, no worries. You have a credit card? Yes, here's my credit card. Let me see the credit card. We need to ping it. So they pinged his credit card to make sure he had money on that credit card, which they'll tell him what that card's worth. So he got the card back, and they pinged it, and they said, okay, you can go on in, and this, that, and other. Now, if you're Filipino and Filipina, if you have Philly-Health, they'll admit you in the hospital, no worries. But for emergencies, things like that. But you have to stay 3 days for them to pay. So they'll be asking a lot of questions for that too once you arrive. But he said he finally got through and did that, and of course he had the 2,000 peso in his pocket. He says, because he brought he said, I brought like $9,000 with me, so I'll never spend that here in a month. But then he's realized he's already spent a couple grand real easy, but going out to eat and trying to find the American steak at Outback and things like that, which it's not the same. It's completely not the same. I can vouch for that, and even he said that. So, but what is amazing is how people perceive it's going to be and what reality is. But then again, too, the reality sometimes is exactly, and it's even better here than you actually thought. But I'm glad that everything is working out for him, and I'm glad that him and his girlfriend got together and they'll get married. And so Ruth and I will try to shoot over there if we know the date and the time. So God bless everybody, and thank you so much. This is just a video. I'm waiting on my coffee. Ruth's going to go get my beans. I ran out of beans. Somebody drank all my coffee. Was it me? Yeah, I had help though. God bless.